Welcome to this fireside chat hosted by WICCI Technology Empowerment Council, Karnataka. I'm Yashaswini, today's host. I represent as the state president for the Technology Empowerment Council, and it is an absolute pleasure to host this special session where we are featuring women achievers and women making impact in their respective fields. Hearing their success stories is an inspiration to us, and as an aspiring community of women and young girls, we would want to learn from your journey and accomplishments. So, in today's episode, we have our guest of honor, Miss Mridula. Let us have a brief introduction of our guest today. Miss Mridula, so how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, and I'm really looking forward to this topic, Yashaswini. When you send me the questions, they resonated with me, and they touched certain parts of my life that had brought about certain important changes. So, if there are young women who are aspiring to build careers in social entrepreneurship, leadership, then I'm really happy to be able to share some of my experience with them.
Thank you for that. So let us begin the session and let's begin with talking about your very inspiring entrepreneurial journey. So could you share us your story with us? What really inspires you in your work, and how did the Vrat Vriksh consultants come into existence?
Yeah, Vat Vriksh. Vat
Vrat Vriksh.
Vriksh is actually a Sanskrit word. Vat means the banyan tree. And I first wanted to do banyan tree, but I didn't get the name. It was already taken on the web, so I then put it Vat Vriksh. My journey, it started a long time back in 1996. I don't know if you were born then. But in 1996 was the first time that I really thought about the idea of doing my own business. And I really wanted to set up a recruiting agency at that time. And I did the math and everything, and I realized I need 50,000 rupees to kickstart the business. And it was not much. Maybe in those days it was, but I couldn't raise those funds at that time. So I just, kept working. Then I had kids, and I got into the corporate job, the loans, etc. And just life went on. But many a times in my career, people spoke to me and said, "Hey, Mridula, you should run your own business." And then it'll remind me again of 1996 when I wanted to do my own business. But time went past, and I was really enjoying my corporate career also. I have been blessed like that, Yashaswini, that I have always gotten to do things that I truly love to do. And maybe it is like I've chosen things that I really enjoy. And I think that has been a blessing for me because it's kept me happy and going, and also has given me a lot of growth. But in 2016, again, it just hit me that in 1996, I had thought of being an entrepreneur. And if I do not do it now, 20 years from that time, I will never do it. So then I took the plunge, and I had done 7 years in Goldman Sachs by this time. And corporate world was kind of had taken a toll on me because it's very, very, exhausting and tough. And while it has its own rewards, but you are always working on at somebody else's time clock, right? And compass. So I said, no, here is the time now. And I just then took the plunge, and I initiated and started Vatrix Consultants. And it's been an amazing journey. Vatrix Consultants has taught me so many lessons, and all the experiences that I had working in Genpact, working in Nomura, working with Goldman Sachs in leadership development, learning and development, branding, employee relations, diversity and inclusion. I just felt like, I need to bring all of that experience, being a CLO at Flipkart, I need to bring all of that experience. And the last 3 years of my career, I also did a CEO role with the Global Talent Track. So I said, I must truly, really bring this experience and help businesses at large. And that's how Vatrix started. There are three things I do at Vatrix. I do leadership coaching for CXO level folks. I also do leadership, offsites and workshops, and lots of professional skills programs. One of my favorite programs is Women Leadership Journeys, where I take women through 6 months to 1 year journeys and really help them, build a strategy and a plan for their career advancement and help them grow professionally in their careers. So and I just absolutely love doing that. Yeah. I mean, hugely, I have to say, to give you a very short answer, both personally and professionally, because number one, you meet so many talented, highly accomplished women when you form a club. When you form a particular business council, not a club, but a business council, you have, it feels like a club because we have become friends. And all of these women are highly accomplished in their fields, whether they are in the field of finance or human resources or business women who are building careers, working with government, working in social sector. Most of them, that's where their heart is, and that's why they joined WICCI. So they are making tremendous impact, and therefore I have been able to forge some real friendships with these very talented women. There are artists, there are dancers, there are authors of books, and you just become so much richer in how you see the world. And it just feels like a great community, which is backing each other up, which is there for each other, which is there to handhold you if things are not going right. But even if the things are going right, and this is more now coming to professional side, co-creating things with them has been so rewarding. So, for instance, 2 years, 3 years back, when I took the charge of being the president for WICCI India and UAE Business Council, we decided we are going to look at college women who are just graduating and help them really build self confidence, self esteem, help them crack great interviews, and get them started on their financial independence journey and make great careers. So we said we will do a program called Unleash Your Leadership Potential. I believe that every one of us has tremendous potential. Sometimes we just hold ourselves back. So we said, how can we help these women unleash that? And when we came together to co-create that program, it was so fun. We had several meetings together. We had experts in our group who gave brilliant ideas, and then we co-created that workshop. And then some of us actually went ahead and did those workshops. So I remember I went to the Jagran College, tier two, tier three cities. There were 300 women, really aspirational, but not have so much grooming to be able to stand in multinational organizations and hold their ground. So giving them that hope and making them believe that they can if they wish to, right? That was very rewarding, and they took it so well. And then we also went to Smania College and we did a lot of work for women that year, young women. And then later on, the second year, we looked at women who are in their early careers, maybe 5 to 10 years in their career, and they go through all of those lifestyle changes, whether they get married and relocate or they have their first baby and they don't know how to cope and come back to work, or if they come back to work, they find it so tough that they leave halfway through. So, all kinds of those changes. And then there are biases, right? People view you differently. Your managers, your colleagues, you yourself think that now your career is going to slow down. So we created a program called Hub, Handling Unconscious Bias. And that again became really successful. When we launched the program, it was a WhatsApp training, and 150 people enrolled. And we had to literally put a stop to it, saying, okay, we can't handle more than that. So, it's been so rewarding to be able to do something for the community. But the journey of creating was really exciting. I'll tell you, I mean, there were tough moments also. Sometimes people will not turn up for meetings and you have to chase them and you'll feel so frustrated. But at the end of the day, when we delivered what we delivered, it just felt like, wow, So Wiki journeys have been very, fruitful for me and very rich in experience. And even earlier, when you were saying, does your work create an impact? I'll give you an example. One of my coaches, so I coach in India, outside of India as well. One of my coaches based out of London office, very smart woman, but totally underconfident. And my job was to really help her become confident because she was taking on a larger role. She was set up, her managers were seeing that potential in her, but she was not. And she's like, no, I don't think, Mridula, I can do it. I said, get yourself a mentor. I'm there as a coach. So she took like 2 weeks to even get herself to give that mentor a call. And I remember coaching her on that, saying, "Night, this is your to do. You have to pick up the phone and talk to that person who you think is going to help you in your career." And the next meeting that we had after 3, 4 weeks, she was so excited and she said, I've got her as a mentor. And she was so nice. I don't know why I was fretting so much. And like that, at every step of the way, she'll hold herself back and I'll give her that nudge and encouragement, saying, you can do it, you can do it. And today she is doing so well, heading communications for the whole office and being so confident, going and speaking in conferences, dressing right, walking the talk, and being so successful. I mean, she launched a campaign with Leonardo DiCaprio on climate change, and I'm so proud. And those are the moments that give me this thing about working with women, and that's my cause, empowering women, right from the girl child to women who are in their careers. It just makes me feel good about being able to add value to their lives. There are so many definitions that inspire me. Leaders create leaders. Leaders are the ones who connect with you, inspire you to do more than you think you can. They believe in you and they help you rise. So there are leadership. I think it's not just a great power, it's a great responsibility, because once you become a leader, you don't realize, but every single thing that you do, the way you smile, the way you greet someone, the way you walk, talk, dress, the things that you do, the decisions you make, they impact so many people, and people look up to you as a role model. So there is definitely a great responsibility that a leader has. And therefore, as a leader, if you can be authentic, you know and why authentic? Because if you are real, if you are authentic, then people can relate to you. And you are your best only when you are real, right? Otherwise you are a copy of someone else, right? As a leader, can you listen empathetically? Can you understand people well? Can you understand what their challenges are? Because if you are a leader and you can't listen to people, then how will you help them grow, right? As a leader, do you have the vision? Can you think big? Can you create opportunities and hopes and dreams for others to go fulfill them? So, leadership is quite a great responsibility, right? Leadership is also about getting things done, which is like, just simple thing, but it is what it is, right? Leadership is about creating impact. So, all of these things, and, in my coaching circles or in my leadership workshops, I always start with the beginning with the end in mind. Let's start this journey by thinking, what is it that I'm going to achieve that's going to make me feel very excited about even stepping onto this journey. So if I know that if I go through this journey, this is the impact, then I'm working towards the goal. Otherwise, it's just a journey and you might enjoy it, but you will not be able to measure the impact. In today's rapidly growing world, adaptable, somebody who is quick thinking, somebody who can relate to people, is authentic, is a good listener, is a visionary. All of those are great qualities of a leader. I remember once I took a bunch of people through their leadership journey. There were several modules we did. It was a 6 month to 8 months long program. And in that program, this was also happened to be for women employees in that organization. So initially, when I was having these conversations with their HR team, they said, Mridula, we don't even know whether people will come into the classroom because we have never done anything for the women. This organization is not, really focused on women's careers as such, but we want to do the right thing, and therefore we are proposing this. So, but I don't know whether it's going to even go through. So, starting at that stage, then I realized if people are so unaware that they need to empower all their employees, including women, then I need to be able to show them an impact. So I made sure that the participants wrote their goal sheets, they every step of the way throughout the journey, I made them think about what is the shift that they are experiencing. You learn something, are you going to apply it? And if you're applying it, are you seeing a shift? So I made them really actually track that down. And finally, at the end of that 1 year, we got all the leadership in the room, including the CEO. And I had some of these women present their success stories, 2 to 3 minute presentations, nothing big. But they were real success stories. Somebody had tripled their business revenue, a woman in the marketing team. Somebody had reduced the quality errors to like 0.1%. Somebody had built a great team. Somebody had introduced a new product. Somebody was now more visible in the market. And as the CEO kept listening to these presentations, he was just like so stunned. And he actually said these words, quote unquote, that I am bowled over. I'm bowled over. I don't believe that I have such talented women in my organization. And Yashaswini, for me, that moment was the biggest success. Even though I took some 150 women through that program, but the CEO having that mindset shift about the talent or potential of the women was the biggest win for me. So yeah, I mean that's what a leader is, I think. Yeah. I mean, look, I seriously got into it in 2016, I'll be honest, or 2014, when I was nominated by my CEO for an organization called Aspire Circles. And Aspire Circles' vision was to create 1,000 socially conscious leaders. And I was in their cohort 5. I met so many amazing people who were doing some great work in social space, in social sector. And that whole 2 year fellowship it was, and that fellowship really transformed me in so many ways that I became much more sensitive about this space of community service. And I realized that there is so much impact that we can create. Even if you are in corporate still, there is so much you can do. And as a result of that, today there are 3 organizations that I work for. Apart from my WICCI consultants, which is kind of, you can say, my bread and butter, there are 3 other organizations. There is Educate. So I immediately jumped in and started my journey with Educate, and it's been 10 years now, where we sponsor fees for underprivileged children. And when I met these kids, I was so motivated to help them in some way. So I created a personality development program, you can say, My Presence, My Platform. We call it Purna. And Purna program was really all about helping these people speak publicly, put their point of view across, be confident, overcome self-esteem or self-doubt, right? So this journey started, and it's been 10 years now. And through the course of this journey, you say how entrepreneurship, how these community works helps you build leadership skills. One is there is so much creation you can do. So there's a whole new program that we created as a result of that. Then being able to empathize with the child and understand, what do they really need, and then helping them help and then see the impact of your journey. So it's 8 days program, 8 days as in 8 different sessions over a period of 3 months. And after the fourth or the fifth session, we start to see a shift in the child. He or she starts to become more confident. They are speaking up now. Those who didn't even know how to put a sentence in English together are now like very passionately talking about social causes. So for me, it's so rewarding that we are laying the seed of social consciousness in a child and helping them speak up. So that's a quality of a leader. So Educate is that for me. And then we bring a lot of community together to do an annual day, and these children present, and it's just amazing. And we raise funds then for that. The second organization that I have been very actively involved is Shivaham Foundation. And Shivaham Foundation's mission is that every single person on this planet can achieve the state of self-realization. The founder is Acharya Sri Shivamji. He's also the dean at MIT University, and his mission is around peace in the world and doing this. So, as we do programs for this, the leadership qualities are to build your network, to connect with people. You end up talking to very, very senior industrialists, businessmen, people who are writing and creating programs. So, networking, how do you present yourself so your own presence becomes stronger and stronger, your own confidence builds up. Um, if you have to implement a particular idea, yeah, if you, let's say, doing a project saying, I'm going to feed 300 children or I'm going to inspire them and we are going to spend half a day doing something, that whole project planning itself is a skill. Who you invite, how do you get everything going, how do you make sure that the impact is there, how do you make sure that the pictures, photographs have been taken, the food doesn't run short, the chief guest comes on time. So a huge amount of project management skills, but also creativity in how can we communicate our message to the world, how can we raise funds for our institution, how can we convince people that this is the right cause. So all of those things are part of your leadership journey. And then the third one, which is WICCI, which I have already talked to you about, how WICCI has been able to create such amazing opportunities. In fact, as a result of WICCI, I ended up doing a business in Dubai. I did some training programs there because one of the cohort members created that opportunity and said, Mridula, I would like to facilitate the session with you. Would you like to come to Dubai? And it's not just me, other members have benefited from each other as well. So yeah, you build a huge community. You
Community.
learn how to work in teams, and you help each other, and you work with government and NGOs and whatnot. I knew you're going to ask me this question, and I'm going to give you an acronym. Okay, my one so that people can remember it, and it's called ABIDE. ABIDE. And abiding by something is committing to do it, right? So, my one piece of advice will be to abide by a social cause that you feel passionate about. So, A stands for aspire, right? First of all, aspire to do something out of your daily routine job. Aspire to pick up a social cause and work towards it. B stands for build. Once you aspire and you know what your cause is, then start building towards it. When you aspire, you ask yourself, what is my aspiration? What motivates me? What really drives me? Where I can put my heart and soul. Even if I face challenges, I will still be stuck to it because I love it. So, aspiration is that. Building is, what do I want to build? What legacy I want to leave. I have certain talents, I have certain knowledge, expertise. With this, what can I give back? What can I build and create? So, build. B stands for build. And then I stands for impact. Anything that you do, if you cannot show the impact, then people don't buy it. So you must have, and the impact stories have to be built right from the beginning of the journey, not towards the end of the journey. So, impact will be, what is the impact you want to create? So, you begin with the end in mind. You think about, okay, if I'm going to pick up a social cause of helping women entrepreneurs find opportunities globally, then what does impact mean? Maybe 50 women have found opportunities globally, or maybe one woman has found that opportunity and she's very successful. And we have created that pathway for her. So, impact, define that impact. D stands for dream. Never stop dreaming. Keep the child alive in you and continue to dream big. Sometimes I feel as women, we do not dream big enough, right? Because we always go into the how mode. If I dream big, oh my God, how am I going to do it? Don't get caught in the hows. Because once you dream big and you put energy to it, the how will start to happen automatically. And the last one is enjoy. It is so important. First, I thought, let me say execute. But execute women do pretty well, I think. But enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, because only if you are loving it is when you will be able to really create impact. So, my one piece of advice is abide, aspire, build, create impact, dream big, and enjoy.